Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Yolanda Hayes. I am a local realtor in Winston-Salem where I am helping home buyers and home sellers own the place that they call home. Today's topic is really going to be about the buyer's journey or the buyer's timeline. You want to buy a house, you've already made the decision that you want to buy, but where do you start and when do you start? So if you are interested in hearing more about the buyer's journey to owning a home, make sure you keep on watching and make sure you go ahead and subscribe and give me a like on this video. So I have about 6 topics that I want to hit. It's really about 6 steps through this process. And the very first thing that a lot of buyers tend to do is they want to immediately start viewing homes. Well, what I want you to think about is you have to actually have a team. A lot of people are not aware of this. First-time home buyers, I know it's exciting. I know this is something that you really want to do, but I am here to give you the knowledge and education on how to do it properly and how to have a successful closing. So the very first thing you want to think about is building a team. Yes, it takes a team to get through this process. You can't do it alone. So I'm going to go ahead and run down a few things or a few key people that you want to make sure that you start thinking about before you get into the home buying process. So first part of it is you need a realtor. You don't necessarily need a realtor, but it's a good idea. It is a good idea. So, you need a loan officer, someone who's going to go with you through the mortgage process. Unless you are a cash buyer and you're actually paying cash, you will need a loan officer. You will need a home inspector. Home inspectors are not required, like home inspections are not required, but they are highly recommended. You need an attorney, a closing attorney, a real estate closing attorney that is going to process all these legal documents and get you recorded at the courthouse. So, and that's just a few. That's just to name a few. So I wanted to go ahead and go through the actual journey and the timeline with you so that you understand what you're getting into and you know the process. So the first thing you want to do is find your realtor. Now you can find your realtor on social media, you can find your realtor on Google, you can find your realtor just by asking a friend or a family member who their realtor was, if they had a good experience. But you can always, select me. I am right here on YouTube and I am always accepting new clients if you are in my service areas, which again is in Winston-Salem. I do the surrounding areas as well, such as High Point, Greensboro, Kernersville, Jamestown, Clemens, Lexington, and also Charlotte. So keep that in mind if you are looking for a realtor. But this should take about 1 to 2 weeks for you to call at least 3 realtors. Narrow it down. And some people, I'm not gonna lie y'all, some people contact me straight from Instagram and immediately already know, just based on my knowledge, or even here on YouTube, I get calls directly from YouTube of people saying, hey, I want you to be my realtor. I don't need to, interview 2 or 3 or 4 other people. I know that I want to hire you. And that's great. I enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that the content that I'm giving you right here makes you have confidence in my services. So that is great. So, but you want to have a timeline of about 1 to 2 weeks. It may not take you that long, but you want to give yourself that time if you do want to interview several realtors. The next person involved that you want to select is a mortgage loan officer or a mortgage company. Now, if you have a realtor that's been in the business for quite some time, such as myself, I already have a team. So all the people that I have named at the very beginning, I already have all of those people. I have a full team in place, but I do not push my team on you. If you have a mortgage loan officer or mortgage company that you already have in mind that you want to use, like possibly a credit union, or maybe you bank with Wells Fargo or Bank of America, or you've already, you already kind of know who you want to go with, that's great. But if you have not, it's going to take you probably another 1 to 2 days. And I am reading notes below here. 1 to 2 days to kind of narrow down whether you want to have one or two. Everybody is different. So I'm not saying that every mortgage company is going to provide you with the great rates and great price and the great programs. It's up to you or the realtor that you're working with to make suggestions on places or banks that you can go to get the information that you need, and then you make the best decision for yourself. So you may get a different interest rate from a credit union versus a larger bank. You may get a better deal, or where someone, another loan officer can offer you money towards your closing costs if you go with a mortgage broker. Now, the difference between an actual mortgage bank and a mortgage broker, a mortgage bank is just like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, things like that, Chase, where you can actually walk into that building and open a checking account, a savings account. You can get loans on your cars, you can get loans on whatever. Well, a mortgage broker, they only do mortgages. So they don't have the red tape that a big bank may put you through. Okay, so a mortgage broker, they are solely there, they're the middleman, they are solely there to get you to your loan, and they are a little more lenient, and they can make the best decisions for them, not for the overall big bank. So I tend to gravitate to the mortgage brokers. They're small, and again, they only focus on the mortgage. You can't walk into their building and open a checking account. So keep that in mind. That should take you probably about a week to just a few days to a week to do. So right then and there, between the realtor and getting a mortgage loan officer, you're looking at about 2 to 3 weeks. So after you have found your realtor and your loan officer is going to go through a process called pre-approval. That is where they're going to ask you for several documents and information about your debt versus your income, and from that ratio that they formulate, they are going to actually go ahead and provide you with a pre-approval letter. This is just a piece of paper that is sent to you to say this is how much you qualify for. Whether you qualify for $400,000, whether you qualify for $375,000, they're going to take your debt versus your income, put it in a ratio, and come up with that number. And from that number, that is where we decide if we need to move forward, if you need to work on your credit, if you need to save more money, or if we need to go ahead and get started and moving on to the home tour. So the third step to the process is moving on to viewing homes. So viewing homes, this is something that I personally discuss up front with my clients. I make sure I know what time of day is best for them. Now, you can choose a full-time real estate agent, and you can choose a part-time real estate agent. It's completely up to you. For me, I'm full-time, so I'm more available to my clients versus someone who works a full-time job. Now, if they work a full-time job, that is okay. If you're at work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and they're at work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, it's kind of hard for them to be doing some research for you and working on your behalf. So you do want to make sure that you're asking the realtor that you choose, are they full-time agents, or are they part-time agents? And again, it's not a deal breaker. It shouldn't be a deal breaker, because if it is a part-time realtor, you guys may be working on 2 different schedules, but the issue where it comes in is the home tours. You both have to be available at the same time. This process could take about 2 weeks for you to view several homes and make a decision to pick one to put an offer in on. So after you found your realtor, you got a pre-approval, and now you've selected the house that you want to go ahead and put an offer in on. You go ahead, put an offer in, the best, y'all, the best offer. Do not think that you can go in to a home and then automatically lowball offers. Guys, that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that at another time, as far as making sure that you put your best foot forward up front. Your very first offer should be your best offer. But that process right there should take about 1 to 2, sometimes up to 3 days just of negotiations. Soon as you submit an offer to a seller, that realtor, I would be submitting an offer to their realtor, and they negotiate. We may end up negotiating back and forth. There may be something in your initial offer to the seller that the seller is saying, no, I want to close a little sooner, or no, I want a little bit more money. It's a negotiation process back and forth, and that could take 2 to 3 days. Once your offer has been accepted and all signatures are on the contract, that's when the ball starts rolling with the mortgage part of it. Now, offer accepted does not automatically mean that you are in the clear. At this point, the mortgage company is going to start digging into your life, okay? So make sure whatever you are putting on those applications, that it's true, because this is where the bank is going to start doing all their homework, all of their due diligence. They're going to be calling your employer. They're going to be asking you for your bank statements. They're going to be asking you for your pay stubs. They're going to be asking you for tax papers and so on. So this process takes about 30 to 45 days. And if the underwriter sees something within your file that may be a red flag, that is where they're calling conditional. You are approved under conditions that you fix something. So say for instance, just to give you an example, if they pull your credit and something is on your credit, but it's fixable, something that is fixable on your credit, and they'll let you know, hey, this is a condition. Take care of this on your credit and we'll be able to approve your loan. So remember, you're currently working under a pre-approval letter. The point of this process is to get you to the finish line and get you approved, and this takes about 30 to 45 days. So now we are at 45 days. You have been approved. Congratulations. And now we have a closing date. The closing is going to be at the attorney's office. That is where the seller and yourself and myself show up to sign all paperwork. And once the paperwork is done, it usually takes about 1 hour, okay? So it usually takes about 1 hour to close, and that is when you get the keys to your new home. I just want to say right now that that is the amazing feeling that happens during this time. And I just say right now, if you are someone that is renting, so keep this in mind, because we have been realtors, we have been having issues where people are coming to us and they're so excited, and we want to be excited with you and for you, but they just signed an apartment lease. The total process of this time, guys, is about 60 days in total. From beginning to end is approximately 60 days. So you want to go ahead and start this process probably just a month shy of, your lease being over. Okay, so if you know that you have to turn in a 60-day notice to your apartment complex, you want to probably go ahead and get started with this maybe even 3 months before your lease is up. So one thing that I want to make sure, and I have notes here, that's why I keep looking down, your team. So during the process of those 30 to 45 days, while you are waiting for your loan to get processed, there are some things that you and I would be handling behind the scenes, such as getting a home inspection. You definitely want to get a home inspection. Again, it is not it's not required, but it is recommended that you go ahead and get a professional home inspector. Here in the state of North Carolina, your home inspection report is for your knowledge. It is for the buyer's knowledge. I have said this time and time again. In the state of North Carolina, this is a basically buyer beware state. This is a state that the seller does not have to make any repairs. This is a state where homes are sold as is in their current condition. Now, you do have what is called the due diligence period, which we'll talk about in another video. I actually have several videos already up on my channel about that, but so I will go ahead and leave some of them up in the cards so that you can go back and watch those later. But if you have any questions about it, I'll go ahead and leave it down, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to answer it. But during that due diligence period, you are doing quite a few things. you are getting things from for your loan officer, but we're also going out making sure your home inspections are done. So if you get a home and the home inspection comes back where it's just too much work that needs to be done at this home, maybe the hot water heater is completely busted and maybe you don't have that upfront cost to make repairs. Well, you know, it's completely up to you if you choose to walk away from the home, but you have to do it during that due diligence period. So you do want to make sure that you understand that the repairs are not the seller's responsibility. We can ask for repairs. That is quite okay for us to ask the seller for repairs, but it is not required for them to say yes. So just wanted to touch on that part really quick. But the purpose of this video is to let you guys know from beginning to end that the process or the home buyer journey timeline is approximately 60 days. So there is no need to contact a realtor a whole year in advance. What you should be doing during that period of time where you're waiting, where you've already made that decision, I want to buy a house, but I have 8 months left on my apartment lease. What you should be doing during that time is saving and looking at your credit score. You should be looking at your credit score regardless if you're trying to buy a house or not. This is something that every adult should be doing. You should know where you stand on your credit score. You do need to have at least a 580 credit score. I know a lot of people think that you need a 640, but that's not mandatory. A 580 is what you do need to have to get into a home, but you also want to pay down all debt. So you don't have to have all debt. So when I say debt versus income ratio, they are going to pull all your debt from your credit profile. So if you have a car payment, student loans, a whole bunch of things in collections or anything to that nature, you do want to make sure that that stuff is paid down so that you can go ahead and, you know, proceed forward. Because if your income is approximately the same amount as your debt, how can you get a house? There's no way for you there to be any way for you to get approved for a home in today's market. So I just wanted you to make sure you know this information. Again, a lot of people come to us and they're really not ready to begin. So I wanted to go ahead and do this video so that I can make sure that I'm putting out the information that all home buyers will need. So I hope this was good information. If there was anything in this video that, you know, resonated with you or was helpful for you, please make sure you go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Share this video with friends and family. You may have some other friends that want to buy a home as well. I always tell some of my clients, hey, if you have a friend, if you have a family member, and you know that they're renting as well, you don't have to do this process alone. You guys can come together and support each other. So if you know someone else that you feel like, you know what, my girlfriend, she's renting too, let me just check in with her to see if she's thinking about buying a home, and share this video with this person. So make sure you go ahead, comment, like, and make sure you go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.